to Scots. I'm going to try and remember to do a video this time. The other time just end up just talking pish, and then it's like, alright. Midnight again, damn it. So I don't actually have a video to put out today, so hopefully, maybe even, depending on the time, trying to, I wonder if we maybe have dinner before we maybe do a live Q&A again or something like that, an impromptu live thing. The videos are live anyway, you know, really. It's not like there's any editing that goes on, and it's like even when we do swear or talk about politics, I just leave it in anyway. So this is a sort of continuation of a video I did. My pal Ram came over last weekend. The weekend before I went and picked him up. There's a wee bit of a video in the car. So the plan was we were going to do that and then we were going to record a song, but that was at what, 5 o'clock at night or something, half 4, and then we just hit the booze, and then we did actually try and play a song like at 1 in the morning, but by that point we've not been drinking for 6 hours and we're pure thinking. We tried to play a song that neither of us could play. It's like there's a point where you just get too drunk, with the confidence levels are too high. Well, my confidence levels weren't that high. I was like, I don't know if we should just get back. We're both going to be a bit crap at it. I was like, oh no, let's go, bravado, full of the bucky, and then we ended up just not really being able to do it. So there's never really any more. We never really recorded a song. It was a fantastic night. I've had a fantastic night though. So where's it going now? Going over to Scots, taking over a couple of guitars, just nothing new, just ones that you might not have seen before. Ones that are mine, so he's allowed to be horrible about them if he wants. I don't know if it will. You know, that Silver Grant, which I really like. I think he probably likes that one, but I don't know if he'll like the West Tone Prestige. Daniel in the live stream asked me to look it out. Like, to be honest, I think he's asked me more than a couple of times this year to look it out, and it's like, yeah, totally forgot about it. So basically, after he mentioned it in one of my videos during the week there, and I was like, yeah, totally feeling really guilty about not having done it before. So I basically just went and looked it out immediately, hung it on my wall. It's an awful nice guitar. It really is. He even missed the point of I don't know. We did that Cranking House song, Madeline. Well, I wrote that the weekend that that I got that guitar, so that was my current newest guitar. I took it into the studio and we used that and showed that song to the guys, and we ended up playing it. And then I didn't call the song Madeline. It was the singer just wrote all the words. Just great having somebody to write all the words, so I don't have to. So I actually named that guitar Madeline. So really, what guitar should I have used for recording it in the studio? I should have used that one, but I didn't. I didn't really think about it. So I kind of forgot that I called it Madeline until I mentioned to dig it out. Like, that's right, because I'm not one for naming guitars. Like women's names, I name them, like got the ugly and the, I don't know. I suppose he's not really naming it, calling it the Yellow Telly or the whatever. So the guitars I do have that'll get names. Phil, obviously, but I've not really named that. It says Phil on the headstock, and then we've got the Madeline, and then I've got a funny feeling what's the other one that's got a name? Actually, the Ibanez Roadster, the white and black, the one with the sort of reverse burst on it, goes from white to sort of greeny black in the middle, is I called it Lena. But never really, I keep forgetting to call it that. It's just like the Ibanez aren't quite good with their naming generally. It's like, the Roadster, alright, I know the one you mean. It's like, yeah, no, I've now got more than one Roadster. I've got the red one as well, which actually it's got a name. It's called the Ridster because it's red. So I need to somehow distinguish the other one, Lena, because that was the girl I bought it off as the bass player in a band called My Dying Bride, which I'd never heard of, but I managed to I did quite a bit of clever emailing to get that guitar, which it was for sale for ages on eBay. It was a few years ago, but it was for sale for months. I kept seeing seen it. And I was like, oh. And she had the most amazing wallpaper. She had that black and white flowery wallpaper with a black and white guitar on it. Fantastic. And I was like, oh, yeah. And she was totally not wanting to give me any money, which I understand, but I ended up I knocked a fair bit off it. And I was like, yeah, well, I'll send you, I'll PayPal you direct, blah, 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 and I'll pay your 5% fee, if you want to post it. I think I might have even sent a box for it. And I ended up getting it for a pure steal, like the sort of money you paid. What? I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it worked out in total I paid 180, which is, it's kind of what the Floyd Rose on it's worth. And it's like, that's not, you're not comparing that to like oh, I've just had a thought there, oh God. Because I'm here. There's a chap I fixed a few guitars for. I actually sold him the zebra wood, or the manufactured wood called zebra wood. Not zebra wood, but the zebra, not zebra wood, one word, zebra wood Strat that I got in China. I sold him that. And he's got a Roadster that he never ever plays. And it's the same model as Lena, apart from mine's the RG530, which is from 1986, and his is the RS530, which is exactly the same guitar from the year before. It's not as good a colour, I think it's just black. Maybe black with a red trim on it. But it's got the Pro Rocker tremolo. It doesn't have Floyd Rose on it because the Floyd Rose didn't exist until Ibanez didn't have Floyd Rose until 86. So it's got the tremolo that lots of people complain about. Mainly, I think, because all these things wear out. They're getting on to be 30, 40 years old, and you can't buy parts for them anymore. So it's like, it's kind of, one of the problems with that is it doesn't plop. You can't just stick a Floyd Rose straight in. There's Washburns have got really, really bad bridges. I don't think the Ibanez one's bad. I think they just wear out and it's impossible to get bits. I was really impressed with the one on the Roadster. Look at this lunatic coming up the inside there. Yeah, arsehole. The one, the Hard Rocker, the one on the Roadster is amazing. That's I think might be my favourite tremolo I've ever come across. It's not brilliant to restring. You have to kind of, I've got used to it. You have to kind of hook the string in from the top, which is quite weird. But it just seems to hold tune like no other trem. It's like, maybe it's just because it's never been used, or I was just lucky or something. But it's got like instead of having posts that it sits on, it sits in a sort of metal bar thing. So it's not just, it's just much. It just returns to pitch. I mean, I was just like an absolute lunatic in the studio on Sunday. And it's like, and not just using it and it staying in tune. It's having the confidence to go in the middle of a song, knowing that you've still got the other half of the song to play. Like, what a thing it is, just having that confidence. And I was talking about this. I really need to have a chat with him. I'm pretty sure he did. I don't think he really wanted that much money for it. I don't think the guy. He doesn't. He's not like a guitar geek. I haven't seen him for ages. I remember seeing him at the Canal Festival when it was steaming. And it was like, how's it going? I was like, yay! It's like I had that look of, if you ever meet me and I bought a guitar off you once, or vice versa. I go through an awful lot of guitars, so if you meet me and I look like I'm kind of just being polite and I can't remember who you are, say, yeah, so I'm really loving the Buckfaster caster I bought off you, the one with 2 pickups. That's it, hell, I remember who you are because I remember the guitar. I'm not good with faces and I'm really terrible with names. Really embarrassing, my problem with names actually. I can literally tell me your name, talk to you for 3 minutes and I don't remember your name. I'm the worst at names ever. So this record I'm doing with Scott today might be in stereo. He's asked me to bring a mic stand. It's like, I've only got one mic stand, it's the one I've used, so I need to remember to bring that back, otherwise there'll be no live streaming. That's the one I use for in my room. A bit over engineered, I think, for what we're using it for, but he's borrowed mics off somebody. And he's got a stereo input thing on his I don't even know what you call it, interface. In your face. So that might be quite interesting. Maybe a better. I mean, the problem is I don't think there's really any issue mic anyway, as long as it puts it in front of him, because I talk like a fucking foghorn anyway. Got my Radio Clyde DJ presenter's voice, so you can normally hear me regardless of whether the mic's at his mouth. You can still hear me talking. It's soft but evil tones, whereas I'm loud and sound angry, but damn it. I've actually got, someone had posted one of my videos on, what was the site called? The Alvarez and West Tone something Facebook site. Posted my link to one of my videos. It seems like a lovely guy runs the site in America, I think. And someone was commenting, not on my video, but in the post that he'd linked my video in. That, but yeah, he doesn't really understand. He'd asked me if I could I do it in a London accent, like a West Tone video. And it's like, no, but then I was thinking about it, wouldn't it be quite funny? So you might be seeing a sort of comedy video of me trying to do an English accent, maybe, or it's obviously going to end up sounding Indian or something, or Welsh or at some point, but I quite like the idea of going, hello YouTube, or try and speak slower and clearer for people who don't understand what I'm saying, even though I think I do speak relatively clearly for a Ouija. Oh, lights. I can be bored with lights. Anyhow, I'm just doing this to fill out the time of driving. Actually, we can get. Pal Alex gave me a greatest hits pinball wizard with a collection to listen to in the car. But I don't really listen to music in the car very much anymore. I think maybe I just don't drive enough. It was different when I was, driving to Greenock every morning or something like that. Then it's like you get half an hour to do nothing. But I'm not on a regular. If you're going to slightly jump the lights and then go fast. Oh god. So I'll be stuck in that in the way home. And you'll probably be after midnight or something like that when I come home. See if Scott will make me dinner again. I've learnt a wee bit from Scott how to make pasta. Very different from my pasta. He was saying that he used to, his calling was to be a chef. Okay, I love the cooking, the chef's not that great, but when you actually go and work in a kitchen, it's an absolute fucking nightmare apparently. Just hot, really smelly, full of really angry people in a rush shouting at each other is what working in a kitchen is apparently like, which I suppose you kind of see that from what's the guy who swears all the time? Gordon Ramsay. Obviously I've never watched the entire programme, but I've seen bits of it. I saw one, it was a YouTube video, one of these clickbait ones, and they'd done a chocolate, what's the word I'm looking for, brownies, aye. I feel there should be something else in there. No, I think it was a brownie thing that he'd made, and he was up against this pregnant woman actually, to make brownies for, and they had like, I don't know, 4 food critics or whatever to make these brownies. They had to try and make them, and he'd used like hand whisked Belgian chocolate and all these really expensive ingredients and spent ages at it, and this woman made it basically like the way you would if you were making it for like a kid's party or something, using sort of cocoa powder and water sort of thing. And the food experts liked hers better. And he was pure raging. It was quite funny going up and going like, you're right, look, bastards. I mean, fair enough. It's like maybe if you just want a brownie, it's just like it doesn't really need to be very much. I think she'd use like dry drinking chocolate sort of shit and Rice Krispies or something. And he was in with all the fantastic stuff with the handmade Bolivian caramel and hand-picked special type of pistachio nuts and all this stuff. And they were like, yeah, it's a bit dry. It's like, what? You're raging because he'd spent so much longer on it, doing all these different processes. Absolutely hilarious. But then again, what's it you want? want a Telecaster, then you just want two bits of wood nailed together. We're faffing about. Saw a really nice telly this morning actually. Pal Bob, who makes Bob's Burgers, talking to me, and he's bought a Hondo Crackle bass. He's got. I had a Hondo Crackle guitar. His one in for a setup a year ago or something like that. And he's bought a sort of matching bass as the electrics aren't working out, so I'll fix that. But he's also showed me his new one. It's a Samick, and it's I really like the design of the guitar. It's kind of like one of your, your telly strap hybridy. What do they call it? Time machine or alternate reality, alternative universe. It's kind of along those lines. So it's kind of sort of like it's got a telly from the bridge down. It's a telly, so it's got like a telly control plate, a telly bridge with a single coil pickup in it, and a sort of square bottom, but the top's kind of more like a Strat, and then the headstock's pointy, and it's like, but not droopy pointy, if you know what I mean, like pointy but still in a straight line. I really like the design of the guitar. It's actually not entirely dissimilar to that the Axel Badwater. I've got the blue sort of cracked finish Telecaster. It's more of I quite like it. I don't know. I quite like the variations and a theme sort of thing with the tellies. I'm a telly fan. On the right gear. It's a really good guitar. A Samick. Never seen one before. Sorry, it's a Samick, so it'll be good. But yeah, kind of. Maybe have another wee look at that photo and see if I can make one. I also had my pal Ian, T-Gun Music, check him out. He's got a Facebook channel, YouTube channel, talking about an idea I was having, and I kind of, sometimes when you've got somebody to bounce ideas off, and I've got this pickup that is really, really microphonic. I can't remember, I think it was from an old Encore or something, but it's just a single coil Strat pickup, but it's really microphonic. The thing with microphonic pickups is they tend to sound pure amazing. Like if you're playing through it in the house like I am through a wee tube amp, they're so alive, it's amazing, but they feed back like monsters. As soon as you're up at volume and you've got air moving and a drum kit and stuff, it's just pretty much unusable. So I was actually thinking about having that in a Strat as an extra option. I was thinking, because it's going to feed back, I'll probably make it an HSS Strat, and then it will have this extra pickup in it, which is for feedback. And then I was thinking, I could just have it on a switch, so you've got like a three-way switch, so you've got normal, whatever the guitar is, five-way Strat or whatever, and then in the middle you've got that and the feedbacky pickup, or you've just got the feedbacky pickup. And then I went a wee bit further, I thought, if I could put a volume control on it, imagine having that, wouldn't that be quite mad? Maybe call it the Screamer or something like that, so you've got like a for your solo or something, the note going into the solo, it'd be nice to get some controllable feedback. If you've got an extra knob that you can dial in a pickup that feedbacks like mad, that might be pretty interesting. Good fun. And then I was thinking I could maybe even put it on like a, where the switches are on like a Jaguar, kind of put it there on a Strat, so it's got like another knob and then the switch to activate it, so you could maybe at the end of the songs or the start of the songs you could fade in this feedbacky thing, and then if you want the feedback to die down, you can just turn down that pickup and all the other pickups are still on. So I've got a wee bit enthused about that. I think that might be a really cool thing that I've never really heard of before. I don't know if it will work. I don't see why it wouldn't work, really. I've got that problem with building shit. It's like if I'm not really that interested in something, I can't really do it. Whereas if I am interested in something, I'm normally quite good at it. That's where the guitar wiring thing came in. It's like I'm good at it because I find it exciting. Also the same thing, even doing the stupid paint jobs and stuff like that. Okay, it's become a bit of not a chore, but doing the buckies, and I always try and make them look a bit mad. If I was just doing the same thing over and over again, I don't think I would have the same enthusiasm for it. This guy just follows. There's a learner thing on it. You shouldn't go on the motorway, but not a very good driver. thinking of extra things. The feedback you pick up would be an interesting one. I wonder if you can make one feedback more, because the reason they go microphonic is because the windings around the coil, they're wax on them. Sometimes that wax dries out and a couple of the windings go kind of loose and they vibrate, and that's what causes it to be microphonic. I mean, my wee shocking bird is shockingly microphonic. It sounds flipping great though. There's a bit of a video we were taking in the studio where I could try screaming into the pickup because this is microphonic, and the band were like, fucking idiot. Yeah, whatever. And when I did it, I just, at the end of the song, I just went into it really loud, and oh, come on, you absolute arsehole. That's how you join the motorway. You make sure that you just crawl and crawl and crawl, and then just pull out 6 feet in front of someone else, and then you continue to drive with your tyres on the white line, and then I'm just going to overtake this like everyone else will. Oh, I'm not sexist, it's a woman. I can't remember what it was I was going to say, or what I was in the middle of saying. Feedback, did stupid guitars. Being enthused to do something stupid. Oh, and latest one, I've been at this for weeks. I did a video of projects that I was going to do, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and it was a P-bass, the Bucky Flying V, and I had a vintage left-handed Music Man Stingray copy, Vintage the brand, that Tony from Blitzkrieg gave me a year, 2 years before the shop moved. He gave me his lap gear. I got this. His lap gear. Oh God! It was the dirtiest guitar I've ever got. Not dirty, rusty to hell. And I've spent the last 2 weeks having to drill out screws. I had to get rid of every single screw because they were all like, you turned it and the head just came off. And all that. And the bridge saddles were all, everything was just completely stripped. So I had it for ages, and then he's like, yeah, he asked me a couple of weeks ago, yeah, the guy who bought the left-handed Iron Brew Stratocaster is looking for a bass. There was a left-handed one that it's kind of pre-sold, so I eventually got right down to actually doing it. So I've Iron Brewed it, and it wasn't until I'd spent ages. It was so much work, it was so not worth it. To be honest, I think Tony said he paid like a tenner from a car boot sale or something for the bass, and it's so not worth fixing, really. It was so much more work than it was worth. But I mean, the thing is, those vintage Music Mans are really good. I had a black one before. Excellent. Really good here. If you're after a Stingray bass, yeah. So Scott was telling me all about his yellow bass, and I've done this. I sent a photo to it. I wasn't after I sent a photo up here. Name of it, it's a Stingray, right? And it's Iron Brew, so I've called it. It's now named the Brewery. I was like, yes. I wish I'd thought of that a bit earlier. It would maybe have enthused me to go on a bit more. It's like that's they were saying about needing a little bit of a kick to get going. Some reason it made some difference on the one that was the one I decided I was going to paint like the ATAT driver. It was grey and white with the red Imperial logo on it. And I was up here, yeah, so I was sitting there, getting out. I've been sitting there for a week. I'll do it. And then I thought, Stratocaster. And then that was enough for me to go, haha, here's the Stratocaster. And then one of the other ones, when I was looking at the Star Wars figures to do the Boba Fettcaster, I did the Boba Fett one, and then I did the ATAT one, and I picked up the Luke Skywalker as a X-Wing pilot, orange and white. I thought orange and white's a pretty cool colour for a guitar. I was thinking of that here. I was up here, yeah, okay, so I was going to make that. It's a wee Yamaha. And I was up here, I was like, what switches I put in it? I thought I could. That's that. So my enthusiasm for that one came from the switch locks the S coils, single coils in attack position. which if you're not a Star Wars geek, it's Star Wars at the end. It's like, yes, we're approaching the target now. It's like lock S foils in attack position. So mine locks S coils in attack position, and that I don't need much. I need a wee bit of an oomph. It's like the next, well, apart from the Screamer one, the one with the extra pickup in it. So I'm tempted because I think that's a bit of a gimmick in its own right to have that thing in it. So maybe not in the pasta caster, which will be like an Italian flag, or the rasta caster, which will be like a Jamaican flag. But I don't think they don't need this. So maybe my next 3 silly ideas are coming up. I guess get a bit of satisfaction in making things that are a bit mad, a bit unique, and a bit silly. You know, not silly as in they'll all be good playing quality guitars. Just I like the weird and the wonderful, and possibly the bit silly. The Donner guitars with salad and sauce, which that's why I bought that guitar, I'll be honest. That pure Donner, that's funny. I still use the Donner case, actually. I bought it with a case and sold it without one. Salad and sauce. So I've kind of managed to talk nearly all the way here. I don't know, I'll put this video out as a wee bonus or something like that. I won't be able to put it out tonight because I need to upload it. It's actually a little bit hot. Well, thanks for keeping me company on my drive to Scots. So there you go, it's been 27 minutes, so it takes me just over half an hour to get to Scots. That's me now just going up the big hill to East Kilbride. He's been up for, I've actually got the bits. Cheers Cameron for the shot of your door card levers, or whatever they are. Fix Scott's car, so are we going to remember to do that? I don't know. If I turn up with this mic stand, I'm hoping that because I've set the mic stand up, I'll end up setting up the mic so I actually remember to do a video, and then just do videos on whatever. I don't know. I'll try and chop them up a little bit, try and divide them out, make a point. Like, to be honest, the doing the video thing, apart from the actual element of at the start saying hello YouTube and hitting record, that's really the only difference between doing a video and just being at Scott to talk shit. Well, I'll be totally honest, it's not in any way scripted or in any way not pretty much saying exactly what we want to say and would do. Anyway, good to get a bit of a guitar geek talk going. And the whole thing about I don't know. He was talking we actually was born about that, showed him that Samick. Because that looks like the Jackson that Jeff Beck used to play. There's a Jackson, or the one I was thinking of was a Shallow, which is the same thing, which is kind of, they're always pink and yellow and stuff like that, but it's like, it's got like almost like a Squire 51 or a 51P bass scratch plate on it, but it's basically a pointy super strut. You'll know the one. I can't remember exactly what it's called. And it's, I was just like, I'm not really sure. There's not really any Jacksons that I've really hankered after, or not so much the actual make, but the design, the aesthetics of them. Kind of the same with Gretsch as well. There's not really any Gretches that I've ever really seen that I've gone, oh, that's amazing. Really? You know, I mean, obviously they're nice. Some companies just don't have BC Riches. I do like. So it's not like I don't like pointy things. There's just something about Jacksons that I don't know. It's also, no, I was going to say the modern, like the reissued Schecters, the Korean ones. I don't really like any of them, but there is one I do like. There's one that's kind of like a Rickenbacker 4001 bass. I can't remember who it is. Does Ivor have one? I think Jerry's son in the Smoking Guns bass player has one, because I've wired it. And it looks like a Rickenbacker bass, sort of like Lemmy's one, you know, the sort of natural wood one, but it's actually a normal bass. I quite like that one, but there's not really any of the other ones that Chapman, there's not really been any Chapmans I've really liked the look of either. Ibanez have a fair few guitars I like. I think in general, I like the look of Ibanez probably. Yamahas. Probably. I'm not necessarily talking about which are good guitars or which ones aren't. Or Yamaha maybe a little bit on the uninteresting side. Sometimes I really like that one I've got hanging on the wall. Keep looking at it, put strings on it. The SC400, which is a crap name. The one that kind of looks like a. It's got the samurai headstock, but it kind of looks like a sort of like a Mosrite or something, maybe a wee bit. I really like the look of that one. Really getting into it, and there's a definite art form to shaping a guitar, and whoever it was that originally designed the BC Rich things had a flair for design I really like. Not so much some of the modern ones I'm not that keen on, but like the the Mockingbird and the Wave and the Bitch and the Warlock. I think all there's something about just looking at it. I'm talking about the shape and the quality or anything like that. Just the actual aesthetics of it I really like. Some BC or most BC Riches I think. I see that guy Eyes for You selling that Mockingbird masterpiece. That was a really nice guitar. Much comfier than my Japanese one, but my Japanese one is I fucked it basically. I put 7 switches in it. Originally just 2 humbuckers, 3 knobs, so like two volumes and a tone, or a volume and 2 tones, a 3-way switch. But the cavity on the back had room for all the switches. Now sometimes Mockingbirds have got like all your phases and stuff, so I routed it out to take a 3rd humbucker. Actually managed to. I've never seen it one since. Actually, like just a week after that, I was looking on eBay and I got a BC Rich pickup that matched for a tenner. It says BC Rich on it in the middle, not on the corner. Whatever that means. Imagine I probably go to or something like that. I put three humbuckers in it, and so I put extra switches in. So each pickup, I laid it out logically. So you had 3 volume controls, 1 for each pickup. And then below that you had a 3-way switch for, in the middle was off, up was on, down was on, out of phase, times 3, 1 for each pickup, and then another switch for each pickup that had, which I've not done since. I never really saw the point of it. It had humbucker, coil split, and parallel wired humbucker, not humbucker then. So it's like series parallel and 1 single coil, and that was when I really realised, because then you're sort of, there's like how many options are there? You know, on one pickup you've got 2 things working together. You know, you've already got so you get 3 different states: series, parallel, single coil, 3, and then you've got 2 different phases. So that's 6 ways that each pickup works. Yeah. So you're just on the neck pickup, you've got 6 sounds you can get out of it. Whereas when you go into the middle pickup's the same, so that's 6 times 6, so you're at 36 sounds. And then when you go on to the next one, it's not 6 times 6, it's 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2, and then you've got all 3 pickups like that. So 6 number at least. But, and basically the sounds you could get in it were amazing, but it was like a synthesizer. I spent more time you could get it to sound exactly like an acoustic, using the phases and all that. You could make it just sound like a piezo loaded acoustic, but it was just so much extra faffing about. You actually just want to play the guitar. So that was kind of like the last one of my guitars I did stupid switching in. The ones like the bucket casters and stuff like that, I put extra switches in so they sell more, so it's a bit silly. But I mean, ultimately on my own, I don't need much. I do like I like a 2 humbucker guitar with a volume and a tone, a 3-way pickup selector, and a dual coil tap switch. I like that. A good dual coil split switch. That's probably my favourite. So the silliness, it becomes insane. But I mean, it's cool. I do enjoy it, and I can understand if I was doing a bit more. If you were recording or something, need a different sound. Half the Bucky casters and all the switchy guitars I do sounds that probably no other guitar's ever done unless I built it. Because no one else goes like, why would you want to do that? It's a stupid idea. Is that fair? Yes, it is. But it doesn't really sound that different. Maybe some of the sounds maybe don't sound that different, but it is different. So you end up you can do crazy things. I think the people who should be buying these guitars are people who are in guitar bands with 2 guitar players or 3 guitar players. So I remember that being a big thing when I was playing with Peg. I was the guitarist playing a SG bridge pickup all the time, as you do, and then Peg started coming in with his Telecaster bridge pickup, and it was, if I was playing the bridge pickup, you couldn't really hear me because he was playing a Telecaster with a governor pedal, and so it was like suddenly I went onto the neck pickup, and it was like, whoa, I've got my own frequency range. So I was sitting between the bass and the Telecaster, and it's like so that sort of thing. So if you're in Leonard Skinner or something, I think that's why you find in Leonard Skinner did Alan Collin not play like a Firebird sometimes. No, you'd always get, you would get, there's 3 guitarists, it's like an SG, a Les Paul and a Strat, or it's not so often you get. And then obviously I'm going straight onto, like Status Quo, there are 2 tellies, so that's a bad example. Anyhow, I've talked some bit of pish. I don't think this video will probably ever go out, or I might put it out one day when this could be my. No, I've been talking about guitars, damn. Kind of want a fag now. I'm too close to Scott's to actually just smoke it before I got to his house. Oh, I hate people who just are so indecisive. Oh, look, there's a woman. I'm not sexist. Bumps. Scott could just drive over them in his Jag, fine, because I think he's got the ground clearance, but I am terrified of them because I lost the sump on my Capri in one of these. It basically just took the entire bottom of the car off. So, not on this road, but so I'm always a little bit sceptical. It's like, can I just go over them without slowing down? And it's like, I don't know, I don't want to take the bottom of the car off. It's not worth it for the extra 10 seconds you save. I would never do that. I would have seen, oh, there's someone waiting and there's cars there, so that person's been waiting for ages. So pure, and no thank you at all. Not that I'm sexist, but that was a woman. Just inconsiderate. I think maybe I'm just too nice. Also, you get 0 street cred in a Panda. Really noticed that when I had my Land Rover. It was like, I had right away. It's like, might is right. Always had right away. People would just shit it because I stink them around, especially with the Land Rover. Even if you were doing like 10 mile an hour and you pure swung the steering wheel hard right or hard left, it would just like the whole thing would go up on 2 wheels. Okay. And we're here, walking.